All right, good. Certainly pleased to get a win here at home. Wasn't as clean as we would like, but sometimes you need some games like that. You certainly don't design them like that, but we give Eastern Illinois credit. Their kids, fought hard. They had a good game plan. We've played better this year up to this point, but that's good. You have to kind of, as you continue to find your identity and you go through a season, if you're going to have a good football team, you're going to have to win some games to where you don't play your best. Now, there's things we did really well, right? When we get 3 turnovers and a couple sacks, those were good things. Offensively, did just enough. On special teams, you make a couple big field goals. You had a good kickoff return. And then didn't beat yourself in the other special teams unit. So those are good things. Now, things they've got to do better. Things we've done better up to this point. Obviously, as long as we stop the run, we're going to give up a little passing yards. But there were some things that, not 287. We need to hold teams in the 200, low 200s. Okay. 9 of 20 on third down they converted. We got to do. There's 3 or 4 that we'll play those things better. We better play them better as we go forward. Continue to be good teams. And then offensively, we showed our inexperience at skill positions. At the quarterback position, John's played a lot cleaner. There's some things uncharacteristically that he did that we got to get cleaned up. 5 drops. We've done a really good job catching balls this year. We had 5 drops. A lot of not being able to get the signal from the sideline. Just showed our inexperience at the wide receiver position, and we hadn't done that the last several weeks. So that was part of the problem. That was probably that was very disappointing. But you're able to play through it. Very. Didn't like the energy on the sideline. It was very quiet in the stands. I think everybody, was looking maybe toward this week or the weeks to come, and can do that. Nobody in this league is good enough to do that. So, hope it's a learning experience for our locker room and our fans, and we need to treat every game sacred, and every snap is an opportunity to play even better than a snap before. So, moving into this week, Southeast Missouri. What do you say? They're a team, too deep in the playoffs last year, beat us handily here at home, went on the road and won at Jacksonville State this week. The only, blimp on the radar was letting want to get away from them at Austin Peay, and I'm sure they wish they had that one back. I'm sure they'll be heavy favorites against us. That's fine. All I got to worry about our team, worry about what's in our locker room, and get a good plan together and go play as hard as we can. As we're I think it's our second homecoming opponent, East Kentucky, now Austin Peay. So we're their chosen homecoming. So we'll get back together this afternoon and move on to the Southeast Missouri game.
Do you think it'll be a difficult process? Obviously, probably not, as far as getting you guys ready, knowing what they went through last week and getting ready for an opponent that's ranked this week?
No, I don't think getting them ready. I mean, last week was tough getting them ready, okay, and we played like it. This week you don't get ready, you'll get run out of the stadium, okay, which we did at our own home stadium last year. I mean, what was it, 50 to 20 something? So it was 13-0 before we even took a snap on offense last year. What I told you, you can't hide anymore. Although. The rankings come back out. We're still not in there, so we still got a lot to prove. We're only halfway through the season. Arguably, you've got the 4 teams left on your schedule with the most talent. Okay, so you took care of business on teams that who we felt like that we should. So now you're playing some teams where probably nobody but us believes likes our chances, and so that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it challenging. That's why people pay attention and buy tickets.
What does Sabo bring to the table that concerns you?
Yeah, offensively they got an experienced quarterback, a kid that's a transfer from Northern Illinois, and had a great season last year. And then they move and then this year there's been spots to where he's looked like the quarterback of old. So we can make it. Then they got the receiver that's last year he had 200-something yards against us, and this past week he had 3 catches for 180-some yards against Jacksonville State. So at any time he can go up and make a play. So that concerns you offensively. Defensively, they got a very difficult scheme. You know, they you know, schematically make it to where it's difficult for you to run the football, and then they mix their coverages in there and challenge in. They got good DBs, and you know, this past week they got after Jacksonville State, and Jacksonville couldn't block them, and you know, probably had about 150 yards late in the fourth quarter on some balls they just kind of threw up. But it's hard to win a game like that when you know, they just couldn't stay on schedule, couldn't stay on the field. So. You know, Duke does a good job. I think a lot of his program, and you know, they're kind of where we were, you know, a couple years ago. They're the you know, they started this season, you know, thinking back about those playoffs and stuff. So now we're trying to make sure that we can keep up and we can match them.